Scott, it's a big week. How would you describe it at the moment? Is it a week that you can enjoy?
Yeah, absolutely. Been able to enjoy it. It's been busy. It's been a bit on. But yeah, it's great to have my family, mum and dad, brothers, Alex, my kids here to enjoy this today. And, even having the other guys that are in the 400 club, turn up today is just amazing that they've taken some time out of their day to come in and, honour me into the 400 club.
Was it a bit of a shock how big it was for you? Did it dawn on you just how big 400 was until today, or were you already across how big it was?
Probably probably even before the game on the weekend, to be honest. I had so many people, like at school drop-off or school footy, wishing me all the best for game 400. I haven't even played 399 yet, so I didn't want to moz myself. But and then this week's, it has been a big week, but I'm just trying to enjoy it all, embrace it. Today's a really big day, and then luckily enough, I've got a day off tomorrow where I reckon I'm going to put the phone away and, I don't know, maybe go to the movies, watch Bad Boys or something and just chill out for the day.
And what was it like sitting up there with those other blokes who have already done it and they're the members of the club?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal, to be honest. I think late in Boomer's career, I called him old because he was 36 and still playing. So, but to be sitting there, I remember playing with Shawnee in the Australian team against Ireland in the international rules stuff and just being in awe of how good of a player and teammate he was, our captain. But that, and then playing against Fletch and Boomer, they're legends of the game. So yeah, it doesn't sit comfortably with me sitting up there with those guys. But as I said, I'm extremely humbled, with those guys turning up today to pay tribute.
And the fact that they got you to sign autographs with them.
Yeah, I was a little kid probably lining up years ago. I remember I was a big Melbourne supporter and they come down to Sale trying to get autographs, things like that. So it felt a little bit odd signing a Hawthorn and a North and an Essendon jumper, but it's a extremely exclusive club. Obviously there's only 5 of them in there, and hopefully I get through to Saturday and I join them as a 6th member.
Do you feel the record, all-time record, a motivating factor for you at all?
No, it's not. But what is sort of a motivating factor is playing this game for as long as I can, because I love it and I'm still motivated. And I was probably trying to think of words to say of why I've probably kept going, and I think I'm competitive, and anything I do I want to try and win. I'll use the rule book to my advantage if I have to, whatever it is. So I love competing. I love going out onto the MCG every week and trying to compete, trying to win, and I love that feeling. Love that feeling when the siren goes, and when that feeling goes, I don't love it anymore. I feel like it's boring. That's when I know it's time to give it away, or my body fails me. But at the moment, I still have that passion to play.
Being competitive, the way you say it, does that competitiveness come from anything in particular? Like, is there a point to prove or something?
My 2 brothers are standing there, probably laughing about the competitiveness. Growing up with a brother that's 2 years older than you, a brother that's 4 years younger than you take a lot out on your younger brother because the older brother doesn't let you get away with too much. So, all the basketball battles, the footy battles in the backyard, whatever it was just part of growing up for me, just that competitiveness and sporting culture in our family.
Did you ever get close to 400 not coming in Collingwood colours? Was there ever a moment when you got close to potentially going somewhere else? It's always been Collingwood?
Yeah, it's always been Collingwood, yep.
Do you feel like
a 400-game player history? How much do you feel banged up, or
one of the young boys asked me before if my body feels really sore because I've played 400 games. My body's in good shape. I feel like I'm contributing on the weekend. As I said, I still love playing for Collingwood. I'm competitive. I enjoy it. I have so much fun. The last few years have been extremely fun at this club. I think anyone that's followed us have seen that, how much fun we have, and it's a great place to come in and work.
Do you think that you've got 2 seasons in you? Because that's what you'd need to break that Boomer Harvey record.
It's another one. It's just whether I am contributing to the team and still have the fire in the belly to want to keep competing and win. And getting to 400 games wasn't a target. It was just to play because I love playing. So I'll enjoy this for 400 and not worry too much about trying to chase down a record or things like that, because the love of the game is what's got me to this point. Playing in a team is really special to me. I couldn't imagine playing an individual sport. I love that feeling when the siren goes, celebrating, knowing the team's done something really successful.
What's been a surreal moments along the journey? The 2010 grand final, getting to play 2 grand finals that year and Norman Smith.
Yeah, it's crazy. Looking back across it, I've lived a fulfilled sort of footy life with a draw, grand final win, 2 grand final losses, and then a grand final win last year. So, yeah, extremely grateful for the journey that I've had across, I think it's 19 years now. So, yeah, and I said I still love it. Enjoy it as much as anyone. So, yeah, really fortunate to be in this position.
The professionalism's well known, Scott. What's kind of the weirdest thing you've had to do to get yourself on the park or keep yourself?
Yeah, not the weirdest, but just playing with injuries and trying to navigate your body to play through injuries has been tricky. You know, I've certainly, like every player that's played, you play with injuries, but that's really hard at times when, you know, you might be coming back from a broken leg 2 weeks earlier, or you know, you've done a medial ligament in your knee and you're trying to get back and play, but you can't really turn, but you strap it up and you get back out there. And yeah, those challenges are really tough, but it all comes back. I think the reason why I've done it or tried to do it is because I love being part of a team and trying to win.
Big advice, sort of 19 years ago.
I don't know. It's a great question. It's probably one that I'd have to think about. But no, as I said, I feel like I've loved every minute of it so far. I've enjoyed it for what it is, and as I said, I still have the fire in the belly.
How far do you look forward, and is coaching part of your future going forward? Because Craig McRae was asked about you during the week, and he said it's like having even better than an extra coach out there on the field with you directing traffic. Yeah,
it's something that I want to do. I think that's sort of, I've put it out in the sphere already. That's something that I want to do when the time is right. But in terms of how far I look ahead, it's Saturday for me, and it's going to be a huge game. I can't wait to get out there with all my teammates, have all my mates and family in the crowd, and you know, do what I love doing with all my mates, and go out there and try and get a win for this football club.
Have you thought at all about the legacy that you want to leave at the club and the sport in general?
I haven't, no, to be honest. I just try and be a really good teammate, try and make others around me better, feel more confident if I'm out there, you know, play better than they even think they can, to give those guys the confidence. And yeah, I think just that's what I said earlier about being part of a team. That's why I love it, is seeing other guys succeed and be really happy. It means a lot to me.
Scott, how difficult was yesterday, given the accusations that were made about the club?
Yeah, Jeff spoke earlier, I believe, about that, so I'm just going to leave it with what he said earlier.
How big is the rivalry with Carlton been over the gym?
Yeah, it's always massive. I feel like our fans and their fans really take it to the next level, and you can certainly tell whose home game it is every time we rock up. I'm certainly glad Saturday night it's our home ground, our home game, sorry. So yeah, it's a great rivalry. The last few years, especially with both sides being around the mark for finals, always builds and bubbles away a little bit more. So both got a lot to play for on Saturday night.
Does it feel like a rivalry?
Sorry?
Does it feel like a sudden death final?
It doesn't feel like a sudden death final, no, but we know what we're playing for. We need a win to stay alive in the season, and it was great to get a little bit of form back on the weekend against Richmond, and we're confident going in Saturday night.
Has it been the biggest rivalry of your career, you and Carlton, or have you got one team in particular that stands out?
I think Geelong, for me, across my journey, obviously a lot of prelim finals, grand finals, things like that, so they've probably been my biggest one across my journey.
So there's a lot spoken about your consistency as a player. Do you feel like the gap between your highs and lows has changed throughout the journey, like now you're later in your career?
I'm not too sure. I remember, I suppose I listened to a lot of the coaches. I remember Paul Roux saying he really rated players whose gap between their best and worst was marginal, and you know, Ross Lyon speaking about anywhere, anytime. Mick Malthouse telling me that he only really rated players if they could play well in big games, and I've always sort of taken those things on, and I feel like every game in my career I've almost put a little bit of pressure on myself that it's the most important game and you have to perform because of all the things that great people have said about how important every week is. So yeah, I've certainly taken a lot from a lot of people, and at the same time, and I've spoken about this throughout the week, that my ability to be standing here is from, you know, great family growing up, great coaches growing up, great coaches when I entered, from development coaches to Mick to Bucks, you know, halves for a brief period of time. Now the coaching staff we have here, the resources this footy club's always had, has given me the best chance to live out my dream, and I'm extremely lucky that back in 2005 Collingwood called out my name.
Does the game look as easy as you make it look sometimes? Does it feel quick for you?
Yeah, it doesn't. A lot of people ask that. It certainly feels a lot faster when I'm out there. I don't feel like I have as much time as sometimes it probably could be perceived. So yeah, especially with the game and the athletes now, everyone's so quick, fit, strong, that try and do as much preparation as you can, so there's no surprises when you're out there.
In terms of modern footy, Brent Harvey spoke before about whether we'll see more or less 400 game players in the future. What's your take on that?
What did Boomer say?
He said less because
tell him.
actually, well, I already did. He said less because mentally it was more difficult.
Yeah, I'll just agree with Boomer. I haven't given it a great deal of thought.
Got a question for Dan?
Got a question, Jax? No. Darcy, question? No.
It just applies just this season where you're at. I mean, so close. Still think you've got enough in the tank?
Yeah, it's a strange season. Even just looking across the whole competition, there's ebbs and flows. Injuries are hitting at different times for different clubs, and yeah, we find ourselves where we are, but we still have a live chance, and while we have a live chance, we'll chase it. As I said earlier, it starts with Carlton Saturday night.
The calm and grace of Scott Pendlebury.